Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Stanley. Welcome to the syllabus overview for POLI 2051. We are in the first week of the class, particularly the first day, and I know there are a lot of questions, things of that nature. So I'm going to do my best to talk about the syllabus and go over the main points of those topics that need to be talked about here. And I'm doing this over my phone because the microphone on my computer is not currently working. So while I figure out a solution for that, I want to make sure that we don't miss a beat here. And let's jump right into it. My contact information is up at the top. So if you call the phone number, you will reach the department. I'll make an appointment with you with the office hours that you see. Keep in mind that a lot of this is done distance learning, so I will talk to you through Skype, or, well, that was the old way of doing things. Now it's Zoom, or if you want to talk over the phone, we can talk over the phone with an appointment. Our course description, we're going to be going over very basic fundamental structures and functions of our U.S. government, okay, particularly the federal government. We will be discussing the Constitution. Will be talking about federalism, different types of federalism, elections, how they work, law, public policy, and civic responsibility, which I think is the big one that I want you guys to take away from this course, is to be responsible citizens and carry forward the knowledge that you gain and hopefully pass that on to your friends and family and future generation. So that is the main caveat for the course. Just keep that in mind. However, we are going to learn some very basic things. If you have an interest in the subjects, or maybe you're preparing to go to law school, you want to go into public service or public administration, we're going to be rolling out some new classes. So those are some great options for you guys in there. Also, some upper level courses which go into more than we get into at this level. So just some things to think about. Looking at the goals and objectives, again, I want you guys to become well-informed citizens, and I want you to be able to function in the political system, not only just voting, but also basically learning how to take in information and how to analyze that information to figure out, number one, is the information true? Number two, how does it apply to me and my perspective of or my worldview? And then lastly, how do I make a positive impact or positive social change in the world or in my communities? Because remember, this course is more than just a course about voting. Okay, it's a course about the things that are occurring in our systems and our processes in the United States, and more so, how do we contribute to making things better and a better society overall. So that's the aim there. But particularly, we'll be analyzing information and evaluating the efforts of our people that are in high positions in government, politicians, advocacy groups, media, as well as other political actors. So the textbook, you'll notice that most of your textbooks, they have a new edition every year. Basically, most of the information is the same. I've had some people contact me about the textbook. If you have an older edition, that's fine. But it's important to, if you are able to get the newest edition, do so, because there may be some questions or some things on a certain page number that are different from what you would notice at on the older edition. So just if you can update the newer with the newer edition, that would be great. If not, just let me know and we'll figure out a way to help you. I know the textbooks are extremely high nowadays, so and that's a problem, an issue sometimes. So that's okay as well. Just let me know what's going on. As far as conducting ourselves, most of you have had an online class. You know that how you should approach it, how you are supposed to speak in a formal setting, etc. And especially in this course, where we do appreciate all ideas that are proper, and we do appreciate all backgrounds, etc. So Refrain from any language that might be considered derogatory or slang. Stay away from the acronyms in your writings and stuff unless you have spelled them out, or any type of informal language. And obviously, we will not tolerate any disrespect or derogatory remarks toward any individuals or persons or groups. So again, that may seem a little bit obvious. We just want to go ahead and get that out of the way for you guys and let you know that this is a 100% online course. So keep that in mind. Moving on with the grading scale, we're at the 7-point right now. We will probably adopt a 10-point scale based on the overall grades that are coming out the first couple of weeks. Sometimes we have to make changes for a variety of different reasons, and I'll get more into that later. This is just a really brief synopsis of the syllabus itself. We can discuss these things more if you need further clarification. The grading will mostly come from your discussions and application assignments, as well as quizzes. So at this point, for the people that are in the full semester class, the traditional 16-week course, there will not be a research paper. Okay? I'm going to be putting in quizzes, a couple of quizzes, and that will account for your final, so to speak, research paper or exam that you would encounter normally in a brick and mortar setting or within a classroom, physical classroom. So, no research paper for the folks taking the 16-week course. All right? Just want to make sure everyone is clear on that. Makeup work is something that you will contact me about first and let me know if you are having life circumstances and things that happen. And I understand, believe me, I've been there, but you have to let me know so we can make a plan. In other words, do not wait until the last minute, okay? I will not, if you try to get my attention during the last week of school, good luck, okay? You have to let me know ahead of time before we get to the final grading points, so that I have enough time to make a plan with you, okay? This is about us succeeding together. It's not about just Dr. Stanley has a bunch of rules. This is about you learning to develop and communicate with someone else who is your mentor, right? So that's how I want you to approach this when you're reading the syllabus. It's not just a bunch of rules, okay? They are guidelines to help you facilitate that discussion when things happen, okay? So obviously I'm going to take points away if there's no communication. You have to let me know there's something going on. Plagiarism is not tolerated in any form or fashion. That is your verbal warning. I'm not giving you any warnings throughout the class. If you copy and paste a bunch of stuff off the internet, I will give you a 0 for that assignment. If you get enough zeros, you will fail the class. That is the plain and simple truth, okay? I don't want to read someone else's work that you found on Google or Wikinotes or, any of these other websites. Your words, you can use other work from other people, but you have to sort it, okay? My grading scale is broken down, you see here. That will probably be amended and changed so that you'll know well in advance what's going on, but this is just kind of a rough representation of how it's all broken down. You'll have 200 points for those quizzes instead of a final paper, like we were talking about earlier. So, attendance, you must log in, you must participate. No longer is just logging in considered participation. You must log in, you must submit work, and that way the student affairs offices and financial aid offices know that you are submitting work, you are receiving financial aid, so we're going to be able to keep you in the course because you're participating, if that makes sense. You can contact our department, which is now History, Political Science, and Disaster Sciences, for any questions on that. Again, excessive absences, or in this case, not logging in, is not a good thing. I can recommend you to be withdrawn from the course, okay, if you're not participating. So please participate in the course. September 9th is the last day to drop the class without receiving a W. Okay, in other words, on your transcript, there will be a W if you withdraw any day after September the 9th. If you withdraw any day before November the 5th, you will receive a W. So, from now until September 9th, you can get out of the class without a W. Any day after the 9th, you get a W. Excuse me, the 5th of November, you get a W. Remember, the 5th of November. Students who stop completing work and do not withdraw, in other words, you just stop and leave it up in the hands of fate, I'm going to assign or average all of your assignments together. So your grade will be all of the work you missed, not just your average from when you stopped completing assignments. I want to make that perfectly clear right now. Your technology and learning resources are very basic in the class, so I would highly recommend a word processor such as Microsoft Word, and I would also recommend you to autosave or keep some kind of backup physical copy or a thumb drive, something if your computer crashes, that sort of thing. You don't have to know a lot about software programming and etc. for success in this course. If you use someone else's login to complete work for them, that is dishonesty, and you will be expelled or suspended or disciplined in some form or fashion. Straightforward. Discussions. This is how we facilitate interaction with each other, particularly between you and your colleagues in the course. Discussions are due on Thursday by midnight, and your responses are due by Sunday of that following week, midnight. You must refer to things that you have read and provide citations for things that you say that you do not know. Okay, so again, if you copy and paste, I will know and I will give you a 0. It's that simple. Don't try it. You will be disappointed, I assure you. For each discussion, you have to post an initial discussion. You also have to respond to 2 of your other students. That is just the way it goes. That's how it will be with every discussion. For your application assignment, those are a little bit different. Those are structured papers or like mini essays, 2 to 3 pages. They will need to be in APA format. If you do not know APA format, familiarize yourself with APA format. It is somewhat simple, I guess, coming from someone with a PhD. However, for undergraduate people, learn the very basic stuff, how to do in-text citations, parenthetical, etc., and how to do your reference page. Okay? So keep it simple, stupid. Remember the KISS method. Final project will be, again, we'll be waiving that. That will not be something that we're going to do. That's going to be your quizzes. Let me know, again, if you're having any difficulties completing the course. Again, I may change calendar due dates. That is what this information is here in the syllabus that you're seeing me scroll through right now. You're expected to comply with any changes in the dates. And please check your email. Keep track of your email. And when you're emailing me, put your last name, your full last name, the first letter of your first name, and the subject in the email so I know where you are at in the course and what I need to sort of prep my mind to tell you, okay? If you do not do this, there will be a delay in my response. Period. Okay, tentative course outline. Intro to American Government. Part 1, Part 2 is Politics for the People. Part 3, Elements of American Politics. And Part 4, Institutions of American Government. I'm not going to go through and read off each one of those titles of the chapters. You can see that for yourself. What I will say is students that do need accommodations for their learning may contact that appropriate office for those accommodations. I have received letters already for some students on their behalf by Mr. Manuel. So if you've done that already, great. If you have not, please take advantage of that if you need to do that. All right? And as always, ask any questions you may have of me. My email is sstanley@lsua.edu. Have a great semester.